Hello everyone, my name is Dmitry Rogozhny, and today I will continue looking at the SharePoint Online provisioning service. In previous videos I did an overview of the service and how you can use it to add samples to your tenant. Additionally, I did an overview of two solutions, Custom Learning for Office 365 and SharePoint Starter Kit. Now there is a list of samples available for adding to a tenant, so I'm going to look at all of them in this video. For the first sample, I will show the whole process of how to add it to your tenant, and for the rest of samples I would skip that part because the list of prerequisites and the process of adding would be exactly the same for all these samples. All these samples use only standard SharePoint functionality, so they are a good example of what you can achieve using out-of-the-box SharePoint features. Okay, let's start with the Contoso Enterprise Landing sample. The sample shows an example of a home page for a portal. So it will create a new site collection with a custom home page, and also it will contain a set of example news articles and some sample images. Here's the full layout for a final page. And a quick note that applies to this sample and other samples as well. The final layout of a page may differ from what you can see in the details page for a sample in some minor details. For example, for this one, in the final page you will not have this Contoso headquarters clock as well as the stock information, because these are not available as the standard SharePoint web parts, so you will not have this in the final page. If you're interested in these particular web parts, you can check the SharePoint Starter Kit sample, which contains them as the part of the custom solution. Okay, and prerequisites for this sample are that you need to have a tenant administrator account for provisioning, and provisioning works for English tenants. Now I'm ready to add it to my tenant. I will leave default settings and I will confirm to start the provisioning process. So it will take a couple of minutes, so let me skip ahead and I will get back to you once the configuration is done. Now everything is ready. I have received the notification email with a link to the newly created site collection. So if I'll open it, we will see the home page. Now we can check the content of this page. We can switch to the edit mode and see what web parts have been used for a page and how they've been configured, and learn something new. Additionally, we can check the navigation menu available for this demo. There's no content available for these links, so these links will not take you anywhere, but it is a good example of how you can organize the navigation for a portal like this. And that would be it for the Contoso Enterprise Landing samples. Let's move to the next one. The next sample would be the Contoso Drone landing site. It gives you an example of a welcome page for a portal. This sample will create a new site collection with a custom homepage, and it contains a set of news articles, sample documents, and sample images. Here's the expected layout for a sample, and here's the final result. So you can look at the configuration of this page. You can use it as the starting point, so edit this page, modify the layout, add new web parts or modify existing ones, so basically do whatever you want. There's one strange quirk with the current configuration of this sample. So the navigation menu is displayed as the cascading menu instead of the mega menu, so it looks a little bit strange. To fix that, you can go to the settings, select to change the look, and in the navigation switch from cascading to mega menu. And once you will save, the menu would look much better. So it will. Oh, let me refresh the page. Okay, yeah, that much better. And that's the Contoso drone landing sample. The next sample is the leadership site, which gives you an example of a company executive information site. It will create a new site collection with a custom homepage and some additional pages and images. So let me show you how this site looks like. Here's the homepage for the site. And if I'll switch to the edit mode, you can see that at the bottom these web parts, they are not the real web parts. They are not actual video and Yammer web parts, but image web parts with screenshots. So a good place to start would be to replace them with a real Yammer feed if you're using it in your company. So for example, let me show you how we can add Yammer conversations here, and I will select some home and small presentation, and now I can see how the real Yammer feed fits in this layout, and I can modify settings if I want to look how this works for me. And as the same applies to the video, so I can embed a video or I can add a stream web part if I want to. Additionally, there's a set of pages added for this site just for the means of the navigation, so they do not contain any actual content, so you can add this content by yourself. And there is an interesting thing called leadership team. Here's the list that with some custom formatting applied, and you can check the settings for this current view right here and use it as an example as well. So that's the leadership site sample. The next sample is Give at Contoso, which gives an example of a campaign site in SharePoint. This sample will create a new site collection with a custom homepage, and also it will create some additional content pages, news articles, documents, and sample images. So let me show you how the homepage for the site looks like. Here it is. And from here you can check news articles. You can look at documents, and you can look around to learn something new. This sample is the Contoso workshop site, and it gives you an example of how you can organize a site for a workshop or for a series of workshops. It will create a new site collection with a custom homepage and some additional sample content. So let me show you the homepage for this site. Here it is, and this site is organized to provide all the information about a workshop. So you can provide the information and also provide the means for a registration. In this sample, this form you can see on the right, it is a screenshot, so it's an image web part with a screenshot of a form. But you can create your own form using the Power Apps or forms. And that's the Contoso workshop site. This sample is the Contoso team site sample. It gives you an example of how you can organize work in a group using the SharePoint team site. This sample will create a new site collection with a custom homepage and some additional content. And let me show you the home page for this site. Here it is. And as you can see, two web parts have failed here. So this should show the information from the planner, which is the product that is a part of Office 365 and provides a board that allows to plan the work in the team. So I will show you in a minute how this should look like. Before that, there's one more page that I'd like to show you. It's called the Meet the Team. So you can check the configuration and layout of this team, of this page, and maybe use it for your own sites as well. So as for the planner, as I mentioned, it did not get provisioned correctly. So let me show how this should look like. So for the team site, you can create a new plan, and you can specify the name for a plan and add it to the site navigation. And once you've created a new plan, you will get an access to the board where you can start planning your work. So you can create tasks, you can assign them to team members, you can set up due dates, and also there's the charts that can show different statistics about the current state of the plan. So on the home page you can put the planner web part that will show the information about the current state of the project. So that this way you can organize the work using the SharePoint team site and the planner. Okay, now let's move to the next sample. This sample is called Brand at Contoso, and it gives an example for a company brand site. This sample will create a new site collection with a custom homepage and some additional content. So let me show you how the homepage looks like for this site. So here it is. And also this site has got a menu. There's no content for these links, but you can get an idea and an inspiration of how the brand site can be laid out. Additionally, there are two lists configured for this sample. The one is projects costs. So it's an example of how you can run a list of projects and manage track the price for them. And another list is called sales campaigns, which allows to run a list of campaigns and track them in this list. So if you are interested in creating a brand site for a company, you can check out this sample. This sample is called Work at Contoso. It is an interesting one because it shows how you can use SharePoint hubs to organize multiple site collections together. It will provision different site collections, and it shows how you can display information from these site collections in one place. So let me show you the notification email about this provisioning template. As you can see, it will create 4 site collections. And let me show you this one, Work at Contoso. This is the home page for this site. And first of all, let me quickly fix the quirk with this navigation. So by default, you can see that it uses the cascading navigation and it looks weird. So to change that, I will go to the site settings and I will change the look for the navigation, and I will switch to the mega menu. So okay, now it looks, well, let me refresh the page, and now it looks much better. Okay, and as you can see, here we've got news, a web part, and this web part shows news from different site collections that are part of this hub. So here we can see that this news article comes from the site called GIF at Contoso. If I'll go here, you can see that this is the GIF at Contoso site. And if I'll go back, we can see that this one, for example, it comes from the site called Live at Contoso. And if I'll go here, you can see that this is the news that has been published on the Live at Contoso site. And all these sites share the same navigation. And also there's the GIF planning team site available. That is based on the team site template that we've already seen. So it allows you to organize the work for a team. Okay, and let me go back to the home page. And if I'll scroll down, you can see that there's also some additional links available here, and some additional information. And it is a nice template that shows how you can use SharePoint Hub to organize different sites, and also you can check the configuration for various web parts to see how they get information from multiple site collections. Okay, that's it. We have reviewed all the samples and solutions that are currently available in the provisioning service. New samples should become available in the future. And for now, I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!